Walk us through a typical day at the summer school.
We have two different programs. One for those who come to learn English, and they would do lessons, classroom-based lessons in the morning. Although we do a fair amount of, if the weather's good, we go outside and they do lessons outside. They would do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon they'll either go on one of the adventure activities, but we also organise more sort of cultural trips. As I mentioned before, they may go up to High Top, to Beatrix Potters, or go down to Grasmere to the Wordsworth country. But also we run a trip out. Probably we can get to Liverpool or Manchester in an hour, and so sometimes they go to the Beatles Museum in Liverpool, or they go to Banfield, to where Liverpool Football Club play, where they can go round the ground. And sometimes they go to Manchester, where they can go to the Manchester United ground, where there is a football museum. Sometimes we'll let them go and do a little bit of shopping in the Trafford Centre, so they can see a bit of Manchester. But we try and make sure that there's no typical day. They'll do something different every day. If they're not doing the English language part, then they would do more adventure activities. So typically, if you're just doing adventure, they would get up, have breakfast, and they may go down to the lake, spend time learning to sail, or doing some kayaking or paddleboarding, canoeing, windsurfing, all of these things that we have on offer for them. And it's great to get them to try everything, let them have a go. They might find something that really excites them and really interests them. Back for lunch, and then they might go off and walk up one of the famous fells, or go caving or climbing. And usually by the time they've done all that, they're pretty exhausted. But in the evenings, then we have our pastoral staff who organise evening activities, and a lot of those are based around further integration, making sure that they're all happy and enjoying themselves. And they'll put on maybe some paddleboard sessions in the evenings, or tennis, or basketball, just for those who want to sign up to do things like that. And there will always be some who have really thrown themselves into their activities, and they just need a bit of downtime and a bit of chill time, and we let them do that too. But I think that the key thing is that they have a really full day.
If you could speak to a parent, perhaps, what would you tell them their child will gain from this experience?
I think if I was speaking to a parent, I would warn them that there's a very strong chance that when they get their child back, they will notice a big difference. And I think they'll notice a difference just in terms of their self-confidence and their difference in their level of maturity. And I think that even if they come for just 2 weeks, I think that it has a real effect on them. And sometimes that can take parents by surprise, because I think that, all of the skills that we've been talking about that they pick up just by going out, having a great deal of fun, but also there are serious life skills that they're picking up. They may not even know it now, but they are seriously picking up some life skills that will really benefit them going forward.
Tell us a little bit more about your immersion programs, who they benefit, who they are for, and why students should actually participate in your immersion programs, and how different are the immersion programs from your summer programs.
So it's the second half of our summer term, and it's limited in terms of numbers. We would probably take about 25 boys and girls of different ages into Windermere. It's part of as I mentioned before, around Square School is one of the ideals is internationalism, and it's a way of encouraging that amongst our own students. So the boys and girls come for a month, and they would join our normal school classes appropriate to their age. Because we are an independent school, we tend to have fairly small class sizes deliberately. So they would come into a class that would be predominantly British. That is probably a different experience. It means that they don't miss out on that education period, because adventure is part of our curriculum throughout. They would then join in with the sport, the adventure, but also things like performing arts, which we have a very strong performing arts department here. They get an opportunity to appear on stage and things like that, and join into the drama lessons. All of those sort of extracurricular activities that we offer. And then during that month, during the weekends, then we arrange for some of the cultural visits that we were talking about earlier. So we may take them to Edinburgh, which is a little bit further away, and they might stay overnight in Edinburgh, or we take them to Manchester or Liverpool. We would definitely take them to Beatrix Potter's home and Wordsworth. So because it's a longer period, they would get more of those sort of cultural activities as well. And we're able to offer lots of other activities that in a summer program time, with time limited, we may not be able to do. So it's a great experience for them. And again, they make those friends. We've certainly had boys and girls who have signed up for immersion, come for a month, and decided actually they'd like to come back again and stay longer. They come and stay for a whole term. So that's the immersion program. But as a school, if somebody phones up and says they just want to come for a short period of time, 2 or 3 weeks or half a term, we can usually work something for them. We encourage that international flavour. We encourage that internationalism. As I said, as around Square School, we think it's very important.
Programs like the Windermere Summer School offer students the chance to experience a traditional British environment, explore the extraordinary landscapes of the Lake District, and connect with peers from all around the world. If you'd like to learn more about the school, we'll include a link in the show notes. Nicholas, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you all.